G'day guys, we are back. It is the Bond 4, and as you see as a title, yes, I'll be doing my round 2 AFL predictions. Round 1 didn't go too bad. I think I got 7 out of 9, I think I did. The ones I missed out on were Geelong and Brisbane. I think most people would have missed out on them. Lots of people would have thought that Geelong would have got the win over the Crows, which they didn't, and Brisbane would have beaten the Swans, but they didn't do that either, so... yeah, it's just footy. Weird things happen, and yeah, I'll be moving on to my round 2 AFL predictions. So Thursday night, the big clash. I reckon whoever wins this game will finish on top of the other. Like one will finish 8th, the other will finish 9th. So it is Carlton versus Collingwood, and boy, this is huge. This is really, really huge, and it's going to be an absolute thriller. Pies weren't on their game last week. They were pretty disappointing. As a Dogs fan, I think we should have won by at least 25 to 30 points, but we just couldn't convert inside 50, and that gave Collingwood a chance to get back into the game. But yeah, other than Darcy Moore and Jeremy Howe and their back line, and Big Mason Coxie wasn't too bad either, but other than them and Pendles, they weren't great. So, and Carlton, for 3.5 quarters, were pretty good. So I'm going to have to go Carlton. Not by much, so I'm going to go Carlton by 14 points in an absolute thriller. Friday night, these two teams were, like I said, were expected to win round 1, both versing bottom teams who were not very good last year, and yeah, both lost. But now they're versing each other. Geelong do not have Paddy Dangerfield, and that is massive. Geelong don't have Paddy Dangerfield for 3 more weeks. And yeah, like I said, that is huge. That is really huge. I think at worst he could have got 1 week. I didn't think he should have got 3 weeks for the incident. He did end up injuring the player, but I think it was just an accident, head-on clash, and it should have only been 1 week or a big fine. But I'm not going to tip against Geelong though, because it is at GHMBA and they play so well there. I reckon the Lions will bounce back though, but Geelong will get the win in a close one again by 7 points. Okay, on Saturday we got the Swans and the Crows. Like I said, both teams had a very, very, very great win on the weekend. Crows a commanding win over Geelong, even though Geelong came back. And then Swans beat the Lions pretty convincingly, actually, in Brisbane. And it was just, I didn't really see the game because I was watching the Hawthorn and Essendon one. But I watched a bit of it at the end, and I could just tell that they dominated the game. So, so hard to tip. Really hard to tip, but I think it's at Sydney at the SCG, so I can't tip against the Swans. Crows, I reckon, will show a lot of fight and will be pretty good, but I think the Swans will start off 2-0 in their season. Alright, so twilight game on Saturday, we've got the Power and the Bombers. Bombers, like I said, showed a lot of fight on the weekend on Saturday. Played pretty well against the Hawks until second half, where they just got demolished and dominated. 40-point lead at half-time. Sorry, Bombers fans, to rub it in. It would be a pain in the arse to support a team that just constantly does that to you. I feel bad. But Power at home, they thrashed North on the weekend. North were just Power just way too good for the Roos. So I'm going to have to go Power again. But I reckon Bombers will show a lot of fight, but I reckon Power will end up getting a win by 34 points. Now, this is really interesting. The Saints and the D's both coming off a really good win. D's against the Freo and Saints against Giants. I think Melbourne were probably more impressive in their win because they got the win easier, but they probably versed an easier side, to be honest. Because, I don't know. But Saints just getting the win over the Giants. They were pretty impressive in the end, though. Dan Butler still on the win. So it's going to be really, really hard to tip this game. D's, like I said, and Saints look pretty good. But I think I can't go against the Saints. I think the Saints will get the job done. Not by much, though. 12 points. Alright, after that we've got the Suns and the Roos, and I think it's played in Gold Coast. So, pretty easy tip. No offence, Roos fans, but pretty dismal 3 quarters. They showed a lot in the first quarter, got to say, and I had a bit of faith for them. I'm like, oh my god, Swans beat Brisbane, Adelaide beat Geelong. You never know, North could upset the Power, but after that, Power just absolutely dominated them, and yeah, no coming back from that, and North got belted in the end. So, I can't tip against the Suns. I think they'll comfortably win by 44 points. Alright, Sunday Arvo, we've got the Tigers and the Hawks. I reckon Hawks always play well against the Tigers. I reckon, like I said, Hawks will show a lot of fight. They played really well on the weekend to come back from the Bombers after trailing by 40 points at half-time, but I think the Tigers will just be way too good and showed too much class and get the job done by 29 points. Next up, we've got the Dogs and the Eagles. My doggies play the Eagles. I got to say, the Eagles, to be fair, weren't at their complete best on Sunday. They did get the job done and did end up running away and beating the Suns, but I think the Suns were really impressive against the Eagles, and they nearly ended up beating them in the end. But yeah, Eagles versus Dogs. If this was at Perth, I'd be tipping against the Dogs, but I think that is a marvel, so I'm going to have to go with the Dogs. Treloar, hopefully he can have a big game. Hopefully, just the midfield can star again. I reckon our midfield is too good for their midfield. Got to say, though, Dom Sheed, Tim Kelly, Luke Shuey, and then Oscar Allen as a ruckman. So, and Nat Nui as ruckman as well. So they've got a very impressive midfield as well. So you can't go past their midfield, but yeah, I think the Dogs will get the job done by 17 points. Alright, so the last game of the round is the Dockers versus the Giants. Another one is which will be really close, and I reckon this week for the AFL tips will be very hard. Some people will be getting low scores, and other people will be getting high scores. It's really hard to tip, like I said, this week. But at Perth, Freo should get the win and bounce back. Giants, like I said, they were pretty good against the Saints and unlucky to actually lose that game with that controversial holding the ball free kick at the end. I reckon it could have been incorrect disposal, but the umpire did call it holding the ball, so I don't really know what happened there. But yeah, Giants were pretty good on the weekend, and Freo weren't at their best, but I still think Freo will get the win. Only just, so I'm going to tip Freo by 5 points. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the video. I'll be doing this every week. And yeah, make sure if you're new, smash the sub button and the like button. Appreciate it, guys.